Hello and welcome to the Freedym Show. This is the daily show featuring 10-minute, practical, usable advice from amazing, heart-centered lifestyle entrepreneurs. It's not just about the money, it's about the freedom. I am Ryan Lee, your host, your teacher, your friend, your mentor, your coach, and the founder of Freedym.com, the leading online education platform for freedom-minded people just like you. And if you want your special gift, you know I got something special for you. Just text the word freedom, that's F-R-E-E-D-Y-M, to 33444. That's freedom to 33444, and you'll get something very special. Now, today, on the hot seat, we've got 10 minutes, and we've got my good friend Jonathan Fields, an author, an entrepreneur, a market. He does it all, and he even has his own summer camp for entrepreneurs as well. He's a host. He has his own great show. Check out all the amazing stuff Jonathan is onto at goodlifeproject.com. There are maybe a handful of people in this world that I just hold on like the highest level that I'm like, I feel so comfortable telling everyone I know, watch what he does. Follow him because he just does it right. And Jonathan, I am so excited to have you here. Are you ready?
I am totally ready.
You might have, that might have been the longest intro I've ever done.
Well, we're just trying to use up the 10 minutes. So
that's it.
Keep
so
going,
now
keep
let's
talking.
wrap it
We're
up.
good.
Let's wrap it up. Jonathan, you've done so many things. You've had so much success. Give us, what's the one thing? What's that magic secret sauce for Jonathan Fields that just is making it rock?
You want to know? It's. I'm probably still trying to figure that out myself. But the thing I keep coming back to, and the thing that I see as one of the biggest misses that leads so many makers, entrepreneurs, aspiring world shakers astray, is skipping one huge step, which is self-knowledge. You can know all the strategies in the world. You know how to build business. You can know lean. You can know marketing. You can know copywriting. You can know product development, customer market fit. You can have crazy relationships. But if you don't actually know yourself, if you don't know who you are, what matters to you, what you care about, what your preferences are, who you like to be around, then you very often end up following all the other rules, the systems, and methods. You may even build something that the world deems outwardly successful, but you end up dying inside because it's just massively misaligned with the fiber of your being. So I think, to me, probably the most overlooked and simultaneously killer, force multiplier for people who are looking into the world of entrepreneurship is a really deep self-knowledge that most people are never taught and most people skip past. And when you don't know that, you don't know why you're doing what you're doing beyond just trying to make money and serve a market. What about serving you along the way? So find the sweet spot between who you are, what matters to you, what lights you up, and where an interesting opportunity to serve outside of that exists.
That's really interesting. And I love doing this show because we don't do any prep. Not because I just don't want to, which is it's 95%.
Oh, please, come on. That's really the reason.
That is real. It's 99%. The 1%,
I know you well enough.
The 1% reason, though, is I think it's just the conversations are more organic and they just kind of go. So let's go down this road. How do we know this? How do we tap into this? Because I feel like now that I'm doing the show, I am so in my zone. I haven't felt this good in like a decade. Are there any steps or strategies you recommend for people trying to figure out what it is that they really want, this self-knowledge?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of steps and there are a lot of processes, and I've spent a lot of years trying to deconstruct them. I mean, like a big chunk of a Good Life project is my desire to actually build a way to get paid to travel the world and talk to some of the most stunningly accomplished and smart people in the world and figure it out through their experience and their wisdom. But, I think one of the biggest things, the starting point for everything is awareness. I think we live in an autopilot world where we wake up in the morning and we react. There's a huge percentage of people that wake up in the morning and the first thing they touch is not themselves, is not another human being, it's their phone. And the reason they do that is because they want to check and see who else has chosen what they're about to do for the rest of their day. which is a bizarre way to exist. And from that moment forward, from the moment that you check your phone, you live the rest of your day reactively rather than intentionally. And then you get to the end of the day and you're like, wow, I accomplished so much. And then someone's like, well, what'd you do? And you're like, I don't really know, but I just know I was really busy all day long. And then you end up not being able to actually move the needle forward in anything that matters because you didn't pause long enough to develop the self-awareness to know what matters and then say, like, there's one important thing that I have to do today. I'm aware of the way that I'm spending my time, and I'm not spending it doing that one important thing. And then you hit the end of the day and you're like, oh, I didn't even get to it because I didn't know what it was. So I think step one, before you get into any techniques or strategies, is cultivating self-awareness, cultivating awareness in the moment, cultivating the ability to actually be present. I mean, for me, I wake up at just about 5:45 every morning. And there are two things that I do religiously before my day starts. One is I do a little bit of breathing exercises, just to kind of come back into my breath and center. And then I sit in meditation, which I know is a brutal thought for you.
I'm sweating just thinking about it. Yeah,
I know. I can feel it through like the airways right now. But I do that for 25 minutes at minimum every single day, and that sets my day up in a profoundly different way. So then, I don't actually go and check who's got plans for the things that they're telling me I'm supposed to do until I'm actually a few hours into my day. After that, I actually literally sit there and I read. I read for an hour and a half to 2 hours. This is before anybody else is up. So by the time I hit, the family waking up for breakfast, I've done really great grounding exercises. I've meditated and really dropped into a state of awareness and intentionality. And I spent an hour and a half to 2 hours diving deep into a lot of self-education. And, then it's time for breakfast. So I think cultivating awareness practices, whether it's just a minute a day attention to the breath, or a minute a day just stopping for a moment and breathing and looking around and acknowledging what's happening, and then asking yourself a question: am I doing the thing that matters most to me at this moment in time? That's the foundation. That's the trigger that sets up your ability to do everything else, to do any other thing revolving around self-discovery, or any other thing revolving around your business. Because if you don't have the baseline level of momentary awareness, everything else that happens is reactive. And the moment you live a reactive life, you suffer.
Yeah. And do you find that most people, because you've helped a lot of entrepreneurs as well, do you find that most people are in that constant reactive state?
Yeah, constant. Absolutely constant. And it's not just, you'd like to think, well, entrepreneurs, we're different, we're the cowboys and cowgirls, and we take control and we take risks and we have to be hyper aware and hyper present. But it doesn't happen that way. There are moments, flashes of that, but still the vast majority of times, I mean, how many people do you know, like, for anyone who's listening to this, do you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is check email, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, any of those things? If you do that, what I'm going to tell you is that from the moment that you do that, you've already lost. And then look at the 10 people around you, even if they're hardcore entrepreneurs or makers or creators. The moment that you start your day by reacting to somebody else's claim on your time, you lose. It's very hard to get it back. Rather than starting your day and saying, okay, I'm going to just sort of like breathe for a moment and really just think about what's meaningful for me today. Like, what's the one big thing that matters for me to do today, and make that happen first and foremost, and everything else can wait. And then if you want to check after that, that's fine too. But at least then you'll have taken like the first step of your day intentionally, rather than immediately teeing up your day and handing your life over to somebody else, or very often like 100 other people, 98 of which you don't know. Mm-hmm. But you've just decided to let them run your life. And I think that as entrepreneurs are as guilty of that as almost anybody else. But the people who I know that have done the most astonishing things in their lives, a common trait that I've seen across all of them is an astonishingly high level of current awareness and choice, and deliberate, like, intentional choice rather than reactive.
Yeah. We're going deep.
Sorry about that, man. I can take it superficial if you want.
This is the deepest episode but it's great though, because this is the kind of show that requires multiple listenings. And I'm with you 100%. And while I actually used to meditate, I need to get back to it. For me, I find every day, especially in the morning, I take a 20-minute walk. and that's like my kind of me time.
Yeah, exactly. And
in
it
the
doesn't
zone.
have
And it feels amazing.
right, and it doesn't have to be a seated meditation. You know,
Right.
it's just do something first thing in the morning, which is intentional and gets you focused on, you know, just sort of like you choosing and you moving and you setting up your day the way that you want it to be set up, rather than waking up in the morning and surrendering.
Yeah. Ooh, that is good. Don't surrender. It's like the old Corey Hart, never surrender. I'll sing it if you want.
No, that's okay. I'm good.
Are you sure?
Well, if you really want to, I mean.
Yeah, no, we'll do that for the next time. But Jonathan, can you believe that? The 10 minutes are up.
That's crazy.
And I'm not giving you even one more second. You're done. If you guys enjoyed this, which I know you did, please check out Jonathan and everything he's doing. GoodLifeProject.com. And for those of you attending Freedym Fest, our first big event, Freedym Fest 2015, Jonathan will be making the trek from New York City to speak and talking about creating revolution. It is going to be amazing. So check out Jonathan's site, Good Life Project. This is Ryan signing off with another episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. This was really good. This went in a completely different direction, but I loved it. And I think it's really, really important, especially the beginning of the day. Set yourself up for success. As always, I will be back tomorrow. I'm here every day for you, 7 days a week. Continue to support us. If you like this show, subscribe on iTunes. Give us the ratings and reviews. Visit Freedym.com. Text Freedym to 33444. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much to my man Jonathan. Thank you for listening, taking time out of your busy day. And now it's time to breathe, just like Jonathan Fields. We'll see you tomorrow.